There's a guy named Robb Browning, Robb with 2 B's, who's been running around the country since the 1980s. I don't think that's his real name, but he's like a total binger where he'll just pop up in a certain region and just kind of hang out there for a while, and then he'll just disappear. I think he goes by several different names and only occasionally goes by Robb Browning. His name came up once or twice on AZ Billiards. Just a total, strange mystery. Nobody knows anything about this guy, but they guess, and it's been said he's from Mexico. But I don't believe that's accurate. In fact, I have reason to believe that's just total bullshit. I don't know his other names. The only one I know is Robb Browning. He's not the only mystery in pool, of course, but he's one of them. And I think he even changes his appearance too. Nowadays, it's hard to do these things. In the old days, before the internet, and everybody knew everything about everybody's business, you can get away with things like this. And nowadays, there's still probably under 10 people who can still get away with it despite the internet. They're just a little more clever. They've outsmarted the whole community. Throughout the 80s and 90s, I had this road business, just this little business that took me out on the road, and it was the best way for me to make money. Although I was struggling in most towns I went to. And I spent a lot of time in Florida because I don't like the winter. And it's hard to remember, but I think I was in Tampa and at a place called Fatso's. And I was hanging out with the crew that published Snap magazine. And I was just there, shooting the shit. The Snap had gone under, and I wanted to know the story behind all that. And so I was getting this story. And in the corner of the room was Robb Browning. And he's playing dirt cheap sets or something. Or he might have been playing for $5 a game. And pretty much stringing somebody along. And I started noticing, just kind of half-assed paying attention, is that in every game he would find 3 separate patterns, the 1 through the 3, and the 4 through the 6, and the 7 through the 9. And then he'd go ahead and proceed to shoot. But when he was done shooting the 1 ball, he'd be lining up the 4 ball. And then when he got through the 4 ball, he'd start lining up the 7 ball. So at first I thought, well, he's just planning the rack and doing what pool players do. But there's something a little bit different about what he was doing than everyone else was doing. And he would do this on every game. And it was confusing me. So I gravitated over to him. And he's a real quiet guy. And he started explaining to me what he was doing as I was. But I didn't really get it at the point where there's so much going on around me that it was hard to concentrate on what he was saying. So in this strategy, we're going to break down the pattern of all 9 balls into 3 parts. The first 3 balls, the second 3 balls, and the third 3 balls, and then we're going to connect them all. And at certain points in the game, and that might make more sense to you. This is Robb's strategy. I can see how what he's doing as he's pointing out the balls. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. my fear is that it might confuse you more and overwhelm you even more. And if that's the case, and if this doesn't work for you, then just, okay, it's just another video. But I think it comes down to how you think. And I'm not you, so I kind of have to guess at how some players think. I know everything I just said is kind of weird and overwhelming, but I think this will make more sense to you as we go. Alright, so while I'm over there looking at the donut box, we can try to see here what Rob was saying. Here's the cue ball. The cue ball to the 1 to the 2, and the 2 to the 3. And then the thought would stop, and that would be grouped together as one pattern. 1, 2, and 3. Then we look at the 4, the 5, and the 6, and that was grouped together as one easy pattern. And then we look at the 7, the 8, and the 9, so that alone was one pattern. So instead of seeing one 9-ball pattern on the table, he was seeing 3 different patterns. Get it? There's one pattern, there's 2 patterns, and there's 3 patterns. And I'm going to show you a graph to show you what it would look like in his head. Alright, there's more to Rob's madness. It's not quite over yet. And we simplified it, we broke it down into 3 very simple patterns here. But it's not over, and this is the part that confused me. Rob was probably still is, a very fast player. He had that machine gun style where it's just no nonsense, line up the ball, get down, shoot, and in the blink of an eye, it'd be over. But after shooting a 1 ball and after shooting a 4 ball, on every single rack, there would be a pause. And it made him look a little crazy. Yeah, it's because it just came out of the blue. It's like, all right, this guy's getting down like he's crazy, and now he's slowing down like he's crazy. I'm not sure he's altogether there. And I'm sure I wasn't the only person to think, this guy's out of his freaking mind. But here's what he was doing. And Mark Hillier, I want you to pay attention here. This concerns all of us. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. Alright, so here we go. We have it all broken down. We're going to proceed. There's going to be parts of this video where there's not going to be any commentary at all. So I'm going to run this video twice, once without commentary. But I will show you the graphics on the cue ball up in the center of the screen to show you what English I'm using. So that will be our analytical video. And yeah, right here before shooting this ball, there would be like a 30 to 45 second slowdown as he would be lining up the 4 ball and focusing all his energy on getting from the 3 to the 4. And what he was doing was he was connecting pattern 1 with pattern 2. So at the point before getting down and shooting on the 2, we already had the patterns figured out. We knew where we were going to shoot each ball. But now we know how to connect the 3 with the 4. So pattern 1 with pattern 2. So now it becomes a bigger pattern, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, a 5-ball pattern. And then after the 4, he would pause again. So those balls would be gone like they were nothing, almost like he never stood back up. He just shot them all, just boom, boom, boom. But right here, there would be a slowdown. And as he was focusing a whole lot of attention on the 6 and getting from the 6 to the 7. So what he's doing at this point is connecting pattern 2 with pattern 3. And after doing that, and right before shooting the 5, it would be just get down on it, bang, 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 bang. Done. Game over. Rack 'em up. So this becomes another 5-ball pattern. I think it's brilliant. I think he simplified it, broke it down, and then put it back together as he was playing. Yeah. It's a little bit maddening, but it's also, if not brilliant, borderline brilliant. It was a way to keep it simple, and it was a way to keep from overwhelming yourself. So now, as you can see, we didn't analyze these. We didn't go through. Well, I'm going to put right-hand English on this 8-ball shot to come up over. We didn't do any of that during this video because I just wanted you to see a different way to think. And we have the Rail Gallery over there making comments. I got bad on this 9-ball and it's a difficult shot. And they say right here, I missed that ball, which I kind of did, but I still made it. And anyway, yeah, we're gonna run the tape again with some music, and I'll show you what English I used and what speed I shot the balls at. And we'll close it out with another tiny little video clip. And thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. Try this. If it's too overwhelming for you to see the whole pattern on all 9 balls, try Robb's way of breaking it down into 3 patterns. And then proceed to connect. definitely a great player. I saw him a few times. Each time I was kind of had my own hands full, so I didn't have a lot of time to pay attention to what he was doing. I don't know. I think most people just take him as a just, you know, one of the local players that, you know, just kind of comes out of retirement and starts banging balls around. But I know he pops up in different towns because his name pops up in different towns. And in pictures and videos, like people walking around in the background, I'm always looking at who's in the background of these things. And I've caught right back there, just laying very, very low and just kind of doing his thing. Yeah, a real mystery. I don't think Robb was out to hurt anybody. I think he's just a pool player doing what he has to do to keep himself fed. He's just another one with that gypsy soul who doesn't trust anybody and has to keep on moving. That's what I can gather, but I don't know a whole lot about him. I think his strategy might work for some of you if you're being overwhelmed with trying to see the whole pattern before you actually start getting down and shooting.